Hi Aquarius, welcome or welcome back to my channel. I'm doing your weekly messages for next week, so we'll get straight into it. First up, we have Vulture Spirit, and it says nothing is wasted. And as far as I can remember, I think Virgo also got this card, so you could have Virgo in your chart, or you could be dealing with a Virgo. But this card is about how even if you feel like you've had the most roughest time, like you are not meant to be where you are, where, you know, how did this all happen, like that type of energy. This is basically a reminder from the universe saying that nothing's actually wasted. Like everything that you've been through, there was lessons that needed to be learned, and it was meant to take you down this path to get you to on track to where you're actually meant to be. I feel like if you think now that this is not how it's meant to be, this is not where I'm meant to be right now, that's actually completely the opposite. You weren't meant to be where you were, and that's why this thing happened. So none of this time or energy was wasted with what you've been through. Then we have the full moon in Libra, and it says a win-win outcome is forecast. So this is basically like, you know, it's kind of like the justice cards. It's like there is some sort of balance coming into a situation, but the outcome will be an outcome that's fair. Something that will be good for you, it will be beneficial for you, it will also be beneficial for them. And there's going to be balance to the situation. So yes, you might not get everything that you want, but it does mean that you will get a satisfying outcome, and so will they. And then we have Observer. So Observer is about how you might need to take a step back and just look through things. You might be in a situation where you can't see the forest from the trees because you're too close to that situation. It's kind of like, you know, when you're giving a friend advice and you're like, oh, I know exactly what you need to do. You just need to do X, Y, and Z. And then you'll get to where you want to be. But when it's yourself, you can't see it that clearly. So maybe look at yourself and see, okay, if I was my own friend, what advice would I be giving myself? And then like, don't just, you know, think about what that advice, actually take that advice, because it's going to help you. So take a step back right now. You're too close to it. Maybe observe for a little bit and then take it from there. So let's see, what does the tarot have to say for Aquarius? Okay. For Aquarius, what does Aquarius need to know? What are the messages and what's coming in? So we have the Six of Swords, we have the Seven of Pentacles, the Moon, then we have the World, the Five of Cups, the Seven of Cups, we have the Seven of Wands, Five of Swords, and the Six of Wands. Okay, bottom of the deck then we have the Five of Wands. Okay, we have the Five of Pentacles, while we have all the fives here, and the Two of Cups. Okay, so lots of change that's been happening for you lately, and change is always a place of, you know, discomfort. So that's probably why you're in this phase of feeling like you shouldn't be here, because there's just so much going on, and nothing is the same. Like it's like kind of like you've been shifted into a completely different world. We have the Five of Wands here in the shadows, if it would just let me pick it up. So we have the Five of Wands, the Five of Pentacles, and the Two of Cups. So I feel like something that's happening in the background here is that there's some sort of conflict or competition when it comes to, I feel like, something to do with your love life. Maybe you're just constantly arguing with the person, or that's what it was. Like there was always fights. They made you just completely feel like left out in the cold. They made you feel like a victim. They made you feel like completely just neglected in some way. And you could also even have, like, you know, given everything to this person, even financially, and now they've just left you, you know, feeling like you've got nothing left with everything, with every area in your life. I do feel like that you had to go through this because maybe there's a soulmate connection that's coming in for you, but you weren't going to leave this person unless there was like all of these issues going on. Maybe they were the ones who actually left you, because there is a soulmate coming in here, and there is a connection, someone that's going to be, you know, have the same feelings that you do, wanting to put in like a equal give and take. They're wanting to put an effort with you and make something work with the two of you. And I feel like you wouldn't have left the situation that you're in, or that you were in, if it were up to you. And it's like, I feel like maybe you wanted love, and you thought that this person was it, but the universe, because you were asking for it, kind of was like, okay, well, if that's what you want, we'll bring that in, but it's not them. So let's change the situation. Let's shift things around. There's been a lot of shifting here, and we'll show you what's meant for you, type of thing. So we have the 5 of Cups here in your main focus. So you are feeling very upset. You have a lot of regrets. You're in this position where you can't actually think about anything else. You're really just thinking about how hurt you are, how it's so difficult for you to move on in some way, and you don't know how to let this person go, these emotions go, this situation go, maybe your job go. Like you're just not happy with where you're at right now, and you have a lot of regrets surrounding this. I do feel like what's happening here is that there was movement. You had to walk away from someone had to walk away from you, but for like your own peace of mind, like it actually was helping you. But there was a lot of lessons that needed to be learned here, and that's why you had to go through this. Maybe that's what this Nothing is Wasted is saying, is like, yes, this is all, you know, very stressful, sad, you know, horrible energy to have to go through. And everyone goes through this, you know, everything in life happens in cycles. But nothing is wasted, because you had to learn the lessons. I feel like there was something you needed to learn here, that you needed to learn this lesson so that this could come in. And without it, that wouldn't have happened. So you are moving on to a more peaceful time now, but it is going to take you some time to get there. And then we have the moon here. So there's lots of fears, lots of hidden emotions going on. I don't feel like you are being honest with what you actually truly are feeling. You might be trying to hide behind something, or like just keep it to yourself in some way. You could also feel like maybe that there's something hidden on the other person's side, or there's something that you don't see the truth of just yet. But you are just needing to trust your gut and not your fears. Like, trust your intuition. Let go of any sort of fears surrounding this person, or surrounding this whatever the situation is that's making you feel so hurt, or this huge shift in your life. Then we have the 7 of Wands. So I do feel like, if anything, you do have a leg to stand on here with what's been happening. Lots of, you know, 5s, 6s and 7s. So there's definitely movement forward. And we do also have 3 of the 7s as well. So usually when there's 3 cards in a reading and there's one that's missing, I always say it is about that. So we do have the 7 of Wands, 7 of Cups and the 7 of Pentacles. So what is missing is the 7 of... Seven of Swords. Ooh. Okay, so I feel like there's someone who's definitely lied to you. They kind of like snuck off into the dark. They could have cheated. It's someone just completely manipulative, like not nice energy at all. Someone who's very just selfish. And I feel like they came into your life, they took what they needed from you, and then they left. But that's why I say you do have a leg to stand on here. Like, you do have the right to be defensive, and you do have the right to stand up for yourself, but is it even worth it? That's the energy that I'm getting from that. And then we have the 6 of Wands. So and you started with a 6 and you're ending with a 6 as well. So although all of this shifting and difficult times was like crazy intense and sad and heartbreaking and full of, you know, sorrow and conflict and all of those horrible things, the 6 of Wands is victory. It's success, you know, it's support. It's moving forward in some way. It's leveling up. So I feel like you needed to have these difficult times so that you can move into this peaceful time and into a much more, you know, increased cycle. So we have the 7 of Pentacles here, and this is in your 3D world next week. So the 7 of Pentacles next week, you could be, you know, wondering why you've put so much time and effort into something and energy into something that you didn't get the results from. You didn't see the growth in the situation, and you put in so much, but you didn't get anything back. You had to be so patient with the situation, and I feel like you are still being patient because you're like, come on, like I've been through such a hard time. Come on, universe, help a person out here. I was going to say help a girl out here, but obviously help a girl or boy or they out here. Because, you know, I've put so much time and energy, like, come on, like, help me out. That's the type of energy that is for next week that's going to be happening in your day-to-day life. I feel like there's going to be a little bit of frustration with not seeing the results just yet, or not getting, like, paid your worth, or like your worth isn't being realized in some way. And then we have the World. So in your emotions, in your relationships, that type of thing, there is an ending. There's an ending of a cycle here, and I feel like that's why it's been so hard, because there were lessons that needed to be learned, and those lessons are now learned, so this is now complete, right? But you know what happens after the World is you go back to zero. You go back to the full, new beginnings. This is going to bring in something that's going to make you feel whole again, something that's going to make you feel very fulfilled coming in. Then we have the Seven of Cups. So in your thoughts, you could be feeling very confused, feeling like you were made an option in some way, or feeling like you just have so many options to deal with, and you don't know which way to go, which one to choose. Like, if you choose this cup, what happens if you let that one go and then that one was the right one to choose? It's kind of like, you know how you kind of like have let's say like in one of those like online game things that like, and not like a game, but like kind of like gambling, but not even, but like where you can like, all of the things are hidden, and it's like pick one and you'll win something out of one, or you won't win. It's kind of like you being like, I don't want to pick that one, and then that's not the one, and then that's the actual one. That's the feeling that's in your thoughts next week. And then we have the Five of Swords. So when it comes to one of your goals or your desires, you are going to be feeling a lot of mental angst and stress. I feel like you're going to feel like you've lost the battle in some way. But again, I feel like this isn't a loss. This is actually secretly a win, because you don't want to be dealing with people like this in the first place. People who are selfish, people who don't, don't put anyone's feelings first but their own. Like, they're very much like, I'm going to be right no matter what. I don't care if I hurt you. I'm right, so I won. It's that type of energy. So you don't want these people in your life, and they're causing you stress. It's time to let them go, whoever they are. So let's get some clarifiers. I know this has been a very heavy reading. I'm feeling it, Aquarius. And I'm sorry to be the person to deliver this message, but I hope there's a message here that you can get. So let's first see, what is the Five of Wands, Five of Pentacles, and the Two of Cups here? What is this about? Judgment. Oh, and another one fell out with it, so we'll look at both of them. So Judgment came out, but I have to hide that. And then the Three of Wands. Okay, so there's definitely some sort of calling here. And it's like Archangel Gabriel is here to show you that this is not where your purpose is. This is not where you're meant to be, which is what I was saying in the beginning. It's like there's another calling here. It's trying to, the universe or God or whoever it is trying to lead you into a different direction. And you're having to plan to move forward, but you've also having to be very patient with moving forward in some way. The Hierophant, what's coming in is commitment. A soulmate that is going to bring in commitment. Otherwise, someone who's going to give you like equal give and take, and when there's going to be a shared goal and you guys are going to do things the traditional way. You might also be getting a spiritual teacher here as well to help you through something. So what is the Five of Cups? It's the Ten of Pentacles in the reverse. Yeah, definitely one of two things here. Either that it's like a marriage or a commitment that has ended, and you feeling like this complete, like, it's like kind of like the carpet or the rug being pulled from under you. Like it's not something that you expected coming, and all of a sudden now you're just feeling this complete like loss, this lack in some way. Or it is also just, some time where you regret something because whatever you did, it had a huge impact on your finances and made you feel like now you've messed up real bad, and like you're never going to get into this abundant space again. we do have the Two of Swords here. You're feeling very stuck, feeling like there is a decision that needs to be made, but you can't make that decision because, you know, you don't know which way to go. You do need to meditate and go within to find out what you need to do here. What's the Seven of Pentacles? What is this? Knight of Cups. So I do feel like you have put in a lot of effort into someone and you're wanting them to bring you some sort of offer, maybe an apology of some sort, or otherwise just their love. Like you want to move to the next step with this person. It's like you haven't been receiving that. I feel like divine timing is at play here, but also it's like the wheel is now going to turn in your favor. So even if it's this person that you wanted something from, it could be them coming in to offer you this, or it could be someone completely new, because the Wheel of Fortune is change. But it is also luck and it's destiny. So whatever's coming in here is like judgment is calling you to go, you know, at least consider this offer, because it is something that's good. And then what is the World here? The Sun in the reverse. Yeah, this is definitely about an ending here. Something that's made you feel very, you know, pessimistic. Something that's like taken the light out of your life. And there could be a lack of communication when it comes to this. There could be a lack of clarity. But it is about you maybe needing to get some sort of closure here. And allow yourself to move on without any clarity or without any communication. Six of Swords, you see, it's time to move. It's time to leave this rough, horrible, you know, situation behind you and move on to a much more prosperous and happy time for you. But just don't forget everything that you've learned in this time. There were a lot of lessons to learn here. What's the Seven of Cups? King of Cups. So, this is you. I feel like you are trying to make a decision, but you're scared to make a decision because, like I said, you're like picking from one of these options, and you're like, but if I choose that, what happens if that's not going to bring me emotional stability, or that's not going to bring me someone who's kind and loyal and devoted and loving? Like, what if I choose the wrong cup? This is about you needing to be emotionally stable within yourself before you are going to be able to make a decision here. I do feel like you need to ground yourself in some way and like focus on putting in effort into the things that you can do. Like focus on the things that you can do right now instead of the things that you're so worried about. And maybe just work on your own emotional stability and grounding yourself. Maybe you might need to get out in nature. What is the Five of Swords? We have the Hanged Man. So this is definitely about letting the situation go. Letting go control, letting go of your ego, because that is, look what that's going to lead you to. It's going to lead you to the Six of Wands, very synchronistic. Okay, so what is the Six of Wands? The World. Like I said, you can't make this stuff up. So this is like the end of this cycle. Whatever's closing out here is bringing you, actually, even though you don't see it, it's actually bringing you success. It's bringing you that support to be able to move on in some way. And then look, to get over the confusion, to be able to make a decision and stop being so indecisive in some way, or to get out of this, like, you know, get out of the dreamland and get back into reality in some way. So let's see, let's move on to your love reading, Aquarius. So this all could have been about love, which I feel like it definitely was for a lot of Aquarius people, but let's just see what comes out in your love situation for Aquarius for next week. Pain, apprehensive, afraid, and cautious. So I do feel like, and look at the bottom of the deck, conflict, clashing, differences, and incompatibility. So I feel like that's kind of like the Five of Cups or the Three of Swords, and this is definitely like this Five of Wands here. So you guys are just constantly arguing, and it's just bringing you a lot of hurt. Like, what's the point in holding on here? What else for Aquarius? Bitterness, resentment, anger, and hurtful words. You see, like, this person's nasty. Like, this Five of Swords, and like I said, with the Seven of Swords being absent with all the other sevens here, they're not a nice person. I'm not getting a good energy from them. We also have distance, separation, blockage, and space. So I do feel like you guys are either in separation now, which is very likely, or you're about to be in separation. Sorry to say, Aquarius, but I've got to tell you like what the true messages are saying. What else? We have emotional storm, turmoil, unstable, and affected. Yeah, so this has really affected you. Broken at the bottom of the deck, shattered, heartbroken, and destroyed. Like I said, it's kind of like that Three of Swords. With that, you know, there's a lot of pain here. I feel like this person is not bringing you any good whatsoever, and the reason you're holding on to them is because you have a lot of love for them, but they've hurt you so badly, and it's like they're just the type of person who's so selfish. You need to leave this behind. It's time to go. Five of Wands, it's time for change. It's time to move on to the sixes, which is movement. Okay, so let's get some romance angels for you, Aquarius. So, what does Aquarius need to know for their love life for next week? We have religious factors. Your love life is being influenced by your religious upbringing and spiritual path. So it could like actually be, you know, religion versus spirituality, or like that you guys come from different backgrounds or something like that. But whenever that card comes out, I actually more think about like there's just some values that you guys have a very difference of, like huge differences in your values, that maybe that's what's causing this conflict. And maybe it's like your core values that you can't, you know, you can't give into, and neither can they maybe, and that's, you know, making them into this horrible person, and it's making you feel pain. What else? Past life relationship. You have known each other before, so I feel like maybe that's what, like, you guys have had a relationship in a different life, but maybe you guys didn't learn the lessons there before, so this had to repeat itself in this lifetime so that you could come through these lessons and realize that nothing is wasted, so that you can move on to a real soulmate. What else for Aquarius? Deception. Yeah, there's that Seven of Swords that I was talking about. Someone is wearing a false self mask in this relationship. Like I said, I just don't see like a good it's not like, you know, I don't like to throw say anything negative about people, especially if it's like someone that I don't know, but I just don't get a good energy from them. Like maybe they were just put on this earth to teach you this lesson, and maybe they'll become a better person afterwards, but they just aren't very nice to you, and I can see that. So what else for Aquarius? What does Aquarius need to know here? What are the messages for Aquarius? We have, I hid who I really am from you. There's that self mask, that, you know, that mask in the relationship. They're not showing their true selves. What else? What does Aquarius need to hear from this person? I feel you leaving me behind. Good. Run. And what else? From their higher self, what did they say to Aquarius? I want to feel that way again. So yeah, I just feel like they're very selfish. Like I feel like the minute that you walk away, all of a sudden they're like, oh, I want to come back now, like, you know. And then the minute you give them love, it's like there's just conflict and like drama, fights and everything like that. So Aquarius, I hope it resonated, even though it was not a good reading. I feel like there maybe was a message that you needed to hear here. But please do like the video if it resonated. It does help the channel grow, and I would love to quit my day job and do this for you guys all day, hopefully with better readings though. But I do hope it resonated. If it did, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you want to see more, and I'll see you guys again next week, hopefully for a better reading. Take care.